We've got notes. I'm your host, Stephen Willis. Auburn 35, Ole Miss 28 today in a weird, wet game that honestly, it, it, it just ended up horribly. And first of all, the SEC officials for the second Auburn game, basically handed them a game through a missed call. That happened. That's going to be the story moving forward. But that actually did happen. Ole Miss was going to go up by 8, and that's going to change the complexion of everything after that. That is the truth. The SEC officials just gave Auburn a game. They missed a call on a touchdown, an obvious call, so that Auburn could play tempo. They only looked at one angle of the replay and not the second angle where you can obviously see the pinky snap. So that's beside the point. First off, Matt Corral threw an interception again in the red zone to start the game. That ends up being the difference in the game. Right there. So we can go to the SEC officiating thing and use that crutch as much as we want to. That interception is the game loser. And if that interception is not thrown, we kick the field goal also instead of doing the fake field goal thing and end up winning the game. That happened. Now, one thing you have to look at, now our defense is playing better. It really is. Last Seth Williams touchdown withstanding. They are playing better. They made several stops in a row that we could have won the game, but we are kind of a head case at the moment. We make mistakes at the worst time. A drop pass with 7 seconds left that was going to get the ball to the 7-yard line with a timeout. Stuff like that. Stuff like dropping an interception when you're up by 1. You had the lead with 3 minutes to go in the game. There's no reason. The game should have been over. The kickoff after that was when the mistake happened. But there's just little errors. This is team learning how to win a game. At this point, we are where we are. Everybody is catching up defensively. The continuity is coming into play. And you can see they've kind of figured something out to stop the Matt Corral thing for making explosive plays. That's fine. That was going to happen regardless. That might have happened against Alabama if this was a normal season. But as we've gone this whole offseason saying, as far as offensively goes, we are a running team. They are running at a 66% clip on plays at the moment. And this game was really no exception. Too many drops today, too, by the way. That's discouraging. But this isn't on Jeff Lebby, or Lane Kiffin. This is actually, you don't throw the interception. That causes you not to fake that field goal. And the SEC officiating should have reviewed that touchdown that Ole Miss scored at the end of the game. That should have happened. There's some kind of horseshoe. Maybe the SEC owes Auburn money. I don't know. This is ridiculous that they are the beneficiary of twice this happened. Twice. Now, Ole Miss ran for 283 yards rushing today on 51 carries. They threw the ball 17 of 28 for 168. The leader on the ground, believe it or not, was Matt Corral with 88 yards. Then Snoop Connor was 75. Jerry and Ely was 74. John Rice Plumlee with 48. If you look at receiving, Kenny Yeboah is pacing that 4 for 83. Elijah Moore had 5 for 16. They were obviously bracketing him. Jonathan Mingo, 2 for 18. Dontario Drummond, 3 for 21. If you look at team stats, 25 first downs for Ole Miss, total yards of 441, 161 passing, 283 rushing, 1 penalty for 5 yards, 2 turnovers. So we ended up losing the time of possession, and we ended up only giving 462, and it would have been more if it wasn't for that fluke play at the end. But that play should have never happened. The game should have been well over by then, and the calls would have been differently at that point because a field goal would not have helped them. They needed to go down and score a touchdown. So let's not forget that. This is a major bungling of a football game by SEC officials. But if an interception was thrown in the end zone. The fake field goal would not have been called if the interception was not thrown in the end zone. Everybody is talking about John Rice Plumlee. And yes, he should have played. He should throw more, honestly, because we have to give at least the appearance of throwing the ball out of that formation, or teams are going to stack up against the run. He can throw the football. Let him throw the football. Now we are at 8 quarters and 8 interceptions. Although, might be 7 interceptions because he was 5 yards over the line of scrimmage there at the end. The ball did not reach the end zone. It was a weird last play of the game. I am worried that we do not have a quarterback with the mental makeup to survive in this league. That's what they saw last year. That's the reason JRP replaced him. I think we might be seeing that again. You're seeing somebody that needs confidence, needs something good to happen, and he can really roll. He's really good. He's a high ceiling guy. But if that doesn't come, he is a very low floor guy. And John Rice Plumlee is a lesser ceiling, higher floor guy. I don't know what to expect anymore from the quarterback position at Ole Miss. It's a problem. He has a problem with tight windows because he freelances. He throws no-look passes when there could be a guy there, so it's affecting his confidence because swag is all about that, and it's just a product of this generation. But in this game, Ole Miss should have won it for the second straight week. Ole Miss should be 3-2 right now, period. I will hear nobody say differently. They're 1-4. Why are they 1-4? Interceptions. 6 picks last week, 1 in the red zone this week. Interceptions. Trying to force the ball to Elijah Moore. Interceptions. It has to stop. It's affecting his confidence, and that you saw them switching quarterbacks a little bit this week. If this does not get cleaned up next week against Vanderbilt, if that game happens, this does not get cleaned up next week, it's time for a quarterback change. And I'm not even saying necessarily JRP. It could be Kincaid Dent for all I care. But you are seeing a quarterback that mentally is struggling and is hesitant to throw in tight windows because he doesn't have confidence he's going to make the right throw, or he's not looking at the receiver he's throwing to. Just remember that. This has always been, like we told you, a 2017 FAU thing. There was a chance he was going to be Daniel Parr and not Jason Driscoll. Right now, he is really struggling. He did not play a good game quarterbacking today. He ran the ball a little bit. We had some drops here and there, but it directly cost us points. We're not good enough. There's not enough margin for error for that to happen. You can't turn the ball over from the quarterback position and make mistakes and expect to win the game. We're not good enough. We are not there. Now, we're going to get there. You can see definitely the trajectory we're on. It's absolutely as clear as day. I mean, we're 1-4. We might be the best 1-4 team in the country, but we're still 1-4. Now we have Vanderbilt, we have South Carolina, we have LSU. There's a lot of get-right games on the schedule. Mississippi State, Texas A&M. All those games are winnable. There is no game that's not winnable. But they have to do it. They have to figure out how to do it. There is a learning to win aspect. And this team obviously has to learn how to win. Period. Anyway, 35-28 Auburn in Vaught-Hemingway Stadium today. This has been We've Got Notes. I'm Stephen Willis, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.